parents, our brothers, our sisters, cousins, aunties, and uncles. But then it goes even further. Our pastors, our deacons, the mothers of the church, even our fellow lay persons of the church, our co-workers, even our friends, those that we meet every day, our acquaintances. Any relationship that you have is important. People that you meet on the street and you may only have a brief meeting with them. It may only be for 10 minutes, but that's a relationship. It may be a short, but it's a relationship that God has brought you together, and you have an opportunity to make an impact on that person's life. You may be the only Jesus or God that person comes in contact with. That's why we have to be very careful. And, and I'm glad that my sister Regina is here today, because Regina and I had an encounter last week, and I want to publicly apologize to her, as I will do later privately. Me and Regina go back a long way over 20-some years. And we are brothers and sisters, and our relationship is deep. We've cried together, we've laughed together, we've lived, and what took place last week should have never did. And I want to say I'm sorry, because it hurt me more than I even knew at that time. And see, when you do something, I found out, Stanley, that it takes a bigger person to admit your faults and your wrongs and to say that I'm sorry and to really mean it than to lord over your authority over somebody and to think that you're bigger and badder than somebody. See, you remember how it used to be when we were kids and how you wanted to, be bad and, and all of that? And this sermon is coming up here soon. When I was a child, I thought like a child, and I reasoned as a child. I even spoke as a child. But when I grew up, when I became a man, when I understood things better, and I got a real relationship with Jesus Christ, I put away childish things. And Mother, I know we all have times in our lives and people in our lives that we have said things to and done things to that we regret. And we have been hurt by people. And me and Regina have talked about this before. Church hurt is some of the worst hurt. Because we come to church and we are the church. And when we hurt one another, it hurts deep. Let me read some of Romans 5. I want to read the first 4 verses of Romans 5, verses 1 through 4. It says, therefore, since we have been made right in God's sight by faith, we have peace with God because of what Jesus Christ our Lord has done for us. Because of our faith, Christ has brought us into this place of undeserved privilege, where we now stand, and we confidently and joyfully look forward to sharing God's glory. We can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance. And endurance develops strength of character, and character strengthens our confident hope of salvation. See, whenever we go through something, we go through it for a reason. It comes to remind us of who we are and to strengthen us for life's journey. Mother, as much as I regret it and as much as it hurt me, I believe what happened between me and Regina last week, it came to help me. It came to make me a better man, a better pastor, a better leader of this church, of the office that I hold in this church. I pray, as I constantly revisit the whole incident, that I learn from it